Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So I'm just gonna do a quick one tonight, giving David the night off. It was Shelly's birthday this weekend, so the two of them were enjoying the weekend celebrating her birthday. Not even sure what he was up to today. I didn't call him. So there's a few things going on. The one that kind of struck me is White House border czar Tom Homan. Good old Tom Homan. Cares about the immigrants in the United States. Cares as long as we can get rid of him, he cares. Well, Tom Homan is begging Democratic politicians to stop criticizing ICE and the Border Patrol agents, saying their job is hard enough already and they don't need American politicians putting targets on their back for apprehending illegal immigrants. He goes on. He says the work by the ICE agents is being undermined by Dems who are publicly ridiculing ICE and Border Patrol agents for doing their jobs. I don't want to bury anybody else. It's not a joke. We're out there enforcing laws. Now, there's a bit of a problem. Yes, they are out there enforcing laws, but, Tom sort of doesn't acknowledge the fact that these ICE agents, I don't know if anyone's really criticizing the Border Patrol agents, but certainly the ICE agents, they're running into cities like the damn Nazi SS agents, rounding up people indiscriminately and deporting them, detaining them, arresting them, no due process, and deporting them. I mean, gee, we all know who Abrego Garcia is now, right? And he's one person. There was 199 other guys with him on those flights to El Salvador that ICE agents raided a town, gathered up anyone whose skin tone wasn't lily white, decided if they had a tattoo, they must be a gang member, and they throw them on an airplane and send them out of the country without any due process. Tom, I don't think it's necessarily the ICE agents they're protesting. They're protesting how you're using them. They're protesting what you're doing with them. They're protesting the tactics you're using. That's what they're protesting. That's what they're criticizing. They're criticizing you and your policies. Now, in the comments, I get a lot of people saying, how many of these guys are Jan 6ers that signed up to be ICE agents? These guys are running around with masks on. They have no form of identification. And you know what? There's a possibility that some of those Jan 6ers are ICE agents. There's probably some reporting out of Midas Touch that would confirm that. I frankly haven't seen it. Trump's campaign promise was that he was going to round up all the illegal immigrants that are, murderers and gang members and rapists and get rid of them all. And instead what he's doing, he's just, anyone that happens to be walking down the street that fits the profile gets picked up. And people are fed up with it. The courts are fed up with it. The courts are ruling against him. So let's take a look at Tom Homan and ICE. What does the future hold for them? And we'll ask the question, are there ICE agents that are Jan 6ers or people who are simply not qualified to be ICE agents, that under any normal circumstance, they would be shown the door. They'd walk in, put in their application, be told, thank you, we'll get back to you. And then as soon as they leave, they throw the application in the shredder. Entertainment purposes only. I hope you're all having a great day. Okay, so what's the energy around Tom Homan and ICE? Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Hey, we're just doing our jobs. We're providing a valuable resource. The challenge is, yeah, you're providing a valuable resource, but you are supporting Trump's agenda and Project 2025 and you're the way you're doing it is just embracing the low vibration energy. It's like you found something that you need to do and you're doing it in the worst possible way you can do it, and you're trying to sell it like it's a good thing. Energy underneath it, you're reaping what you're sowing. You know, you, you I'm just gonna leave it at that. You're reaping what you're sowing. In the past, you had the Ten of Cups. This is Trump's promise that, hey, if we get rid of all the brown people, life is going to be great. America is going to be great again. What do we got going on here? Sorry. Current energy is the Five of Pentacles. So this could be one of a couple things. Basically, Homan and his administration, his policies, they are, well, no, I take that back. They are making the normal Americans frightened. They're putting, their policies and the practices are making people feel like they're not part of the collective any longer. The establishment is inside and being warm, and those that oppose them are out in the cold. What does that mean, Gary? That means that your policies are exclusionary. Your policies are bad. The way you've linked them, they're not making the happy family. People are realizing that some of these people that are being deported are their neighbors. They're their friends. They're the people that do work for them. These are also, the Five of Pentacles being left out in the cold. This could be like your due process, right? Their rights are being violated, and the courts aren't acting fast enough. Overarching energy is Judgment card. Stop attacking my ICE agents and my border agents. That's not fair. Their job is hard. Yeah, but you know what? It's not that their job is hard. And we're not protesting that they have a job to do. We're protesting how they're doing it. And you're doing it so in your face. And like I said, it's like the Nazis in World War II. The way it's like you're sending the stormtroopers in and gather up all the people that are the undesirables, and then, march them off, and you never see them again. That's to be learned. Ace of Swords. There's a harsh truth out there for you. It's not the story you're pitching. There's a story that we're all seeing. And the outcome is the world. And it's the end of the cycle. So the world is watching, but it's also the end of the cycle that maybe, just maybe, we're coming to an end on this. That the courts are certainly ruling in favor, but it's got to get to the point where Congress backs him up. You know what I'm saying? Because Trump's regime is very good about just ignoring the court's orders. So it's really up to the judicial branch and the legislative branch to enforce these court rulings and making sure that the law is being followed and that the people are being their rights are being protected. Okay. Are there Jan 6ers or other desirables? Are they the ones causing the problems, or is it Trump and his cronies? We'll just do a side by side. It might be both. So Jan 6ers and other undesirables in ICE, and then you've got Trump and his cronies. I'll just throw the 4 cards. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so what do we got here? Linked by the Judgment card. Okay, are there Jan 6ers and other undesirables? Okay, that's an interesting card. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. 2 of Swords. You have a choice. You got the Four Wands, celebrations, uh, not everything as it seems, and people emotionally walking away. Oh boy. Um, what I'm getting from this isn't, it's not telling me if there's people in there. This is more the folks that are like doing the hiring and the recruiting. It's like you have a choice of who you want to bring in. You know, there's actions that need to be taken, and you know, it's actions that uh, people will be seeing. They'll, you know, it's, you're not going to be hiding in these actions. These actions are for people to see. They are watching you. But what's going on is unethical, and you can't, it not, don't believe what you're seeing. And some emotional walking away. That Eight of Cups, you know, the Nine of Cups is that hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. The Eight of Cups is missing that ninth cup, and it's the, like, the opposite. It's like, this isn't what we signed up for. This is probably what it's reading here is your typical border patrol agent, your typical ICE agent prior to hiring this latest round of hiring. And they can't believe the choices that are being made that are upsetting the happy, you know, the happy family, if you will, the brotherhood that's in the ICE and the border patrol. You know, we're, you know, you're giving us a bad reputation. We don't like what we're seeing. You know, you're smoke and mirrors here, and people are judging us because of our actions. I think that's what I'm getting on that. That felt right. What's Trump and his regime thinking? Hey, you know, we are the masters here. We control the situation. You've got the Seven of Swords. Basically, they're making off with people's rights. We don't care about your rights. You know, we have to show that we're taking action and doing something. But we don't like the press we're getting. So this is just basically, this is what Homan's feeling like. You know, Homan in the leadership. And once again, you got the Judgment card linking that together. We can see what's happening. You know, we're not dumb. You're not pulling the wool over our eyes, and people are not happy about it. Okay, so it's not quite answering the question I asked, but hey, man, I've learned a long time ago that what I ask and the cards I receive are not always the same thing. All right, I'm going to put this on pause for just a second. Stand by, folks. Okay, in related news, on Monday, which was tomorrow, I'm recording this Sunday, it's about 9 o'clock at night, Justice Boasberg is ready to start a trial on, or is ready to hear testimony from a former government whistleblower. As you recall, when Trump and folks put all the immigrants on the airplanes and flew them to El Salvador, Boasberg, I believe, was the judge on that case. Sorry, I was just verifying that. Yeah, so Judge Boasberg ordered to halt those deportation flights and bring those planes back. And the Justice Department basically said, oh, too late. They're already out of our jurisdiction. And now Boasberg is starting his contempt hearings. He's looking at firing up this contempt trial. There's a appeals court that has put a temporary stay on that. And the trial might not start on Monday the way it was intended. The appeals court said the stay wasn't necessarily based on the merits of the case. It's just, I guess it's more of a procedural thing, administrative thing. So let's take a look at the appeals court. There's two judges that are appointed by Donald Trump and one by Joe Biden. So what are they thinking about this potential contempt case going forward? Knight of Wands, it's actions that need to move forward. And then you got underneath it, you got the Death card. But we want to end. Okay, so they want to bring, actions have been taken and they want to bring them to an end. I'm going to have to ask for a clarifier. What actions? The contempt actions or the actions that you're deporting people without due process? And, that sort of thing. Three of Wands. These are actions that occurred overseas or involved overseas people. And then the Page of Swords. They were reckless. And it was something that should have been thought out a little bit more. And then the energy underneath it is the Eight of Cups. That not the hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled, but the emotionally walking away and checking out. This is not something that should have happened. My feeling on this, I'm going out on a limb here, because you got two Trump appointed justices on this, or judges on this panel. To me, this feels like they're not happy with what has been happening. The judge gave a ruling to stop those flights and bring them back. They went anyways, and you had some creative response on why they went, and we're not happy about it. Give me a clarifier on the death card. What is the ending? Does it go towards? Oh, never mind. How will the appeal come out? Why don't we just go right for it? Will the appeals court allow the contempt case to go forward? I think that's really what I need to be asking. What's the current energy on that? Will the appeals court allow the case to go forward? Will they allow Judge Boasberg to try the case? Okay, Five of Cups, not happy with what's been happening. It's, once again, there's involvement overseas. You got to think about what's going on in the future. God, I need to shuffle these cards better. Page of Swords is that creative, reckless, that immature actions that were taken, and that it's a harsh truth that you have to face. And there's the Death card again. I shuffled those cards. I cut them. I got 4 of the cards are the same. Oh my God. So, are they going to go forward with it? Okay. This is going to be interesting to me. Because, I'm kind of an optimist. I kind of believe that the right things are always going to get done and should be done. You got the minor arcana kind of a death card, mourning what's been happening. And then you got the major arcana. Oh. I am going to... Oh, man. The optimist in me says, yeah, of course they're going to allow this contempt case to go forward. They're not happy about it. But we need to bring this to an end. But I mean, that's also... I've gotten the death card twice. And Trump always seems to get away with this crap. So can I read it as they're going to kill it? We're not happy about it. We got to think about the future. This the truth. Okay, I'm going to say that they're going to allow it to move forward. But I can totally see how these cards could say that. No, we don't think so. We think that Judge Boasberg is on a fishing expedition and we're not going to allow it. I could totally see that. It just depends. Are these judges going to be impartial, or are they going to show their loyalty to Trump? That's really what it comes down to. Okay, so why don't we ask that? Will these judges be impartial and rule on the facts and merits of the case? Okay. Third time's a charm, right? Will they rule on the merits of the case? You got the Chariot. This is about a slow-moving victory. You got the Nine of Swords. You got anxiety, a nightmare situation. 3 of Cups. Celebrating. And then Judgment. Oh, boy. And then underneath it, Nine of Pentacles. Living up, man, oh man, that's not helping me. that's kind of It's like 2 out of 3 is what I'm getting. That 2 out of 3. One of them, I suspect that what's going to happen is 2 of the justices are going to say, no, we're going to hold the stay. We're not going to allow it. That's kind of what I'm feeling on that. Because of that 3 of Cups, everyone's celebrating. Yay! We only needed 2 and we got 2. Not happy. But hey, I may be wrong and I've been wrong before. So I'll be happy to be wrong on that one. Anyways, that's what I got for you. I hope you're all doing great. I want to give a couple of birthday shout outs out there. One to Julie Wagner, who just celebrated her birthday today on Sunday. Happy birthday, Julie. And then in the comments, Lena was mentioning that she was having a birthday coming up. So happy birthday to you, Lena. Try and stay warm. She's up there in Canada, and it is cold. Let's give a couple of shout outs. Joe Fraser Hansen says, Callie Meow says, hi. She's sitting with me, purring and listening to you. Oh, that's so cool. And we got for Callie Meow the Knight of Wands. Hey, you know what? Get up off your... You're going to have to get her off your lap and get her some treats. Okay, let's see what else we got. We don't care about that. I got to get past a whole bunch of Christmas photos. Here we go. Holly Golightly. Can we get a card for my kitty cat, Andy, who's turning 8 in a couple months? He's a brown short hair with black stripes and spots. Yes, we can. 4 of Wands. And we will celebrate that 8th birthday there. Let's see. Holly Golightly says, we also live in the Bay Area, about a 4-minute drive down 280 south in Cupertino. I totally know where Cupertino is, and that is a bit south there. A nice area, Cupertino. Irish Girl says, my current kitty is Mocha, and he says, hey, Mocha, join the happy family there. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. That I'm going to save for a future reading, and then we'll wrap it up with Gail. Let's see, what has Gail's got there? It's a recommendation or reading, and it's related to that one I just said. Oh, that's a recommendation or reading. So we'll and it was Sharon Klauser, whose kitty's name is Little Dude as well. I think we got 2 little dudes on the channel now. Queen of Wands for you there, Sharon. I hope you and Little Dude are doing great. And then we'll a card for the rest of us. We got the Sun card. Oh boy, let the light shine on. Hey, for those of you in the Midwest and the northern states, I hope that polar vortex didn't hit you too hard. Frances Fair is out there in Ohio, and every time I see something on a polar vortex, I'm thinking about her. Anyways, I hope you guys are staying warm and the weather's not impacting you too badly. And we will, hopefully Dave and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, folks. Take care. Bye.